Hey guys, it's Chey. Welcome to the channel if you are new, and if you're not, hey boo. So you guys, the Sephora sale is upon us and I wanted to get my Sephora recommendations out to you all. It's gonna be a little bit of a long one, so make sure that you guys are real comfy. Get your notepad and pencil ready to take some notes. Now for my recommendations, I do have oily skin, I do have large pores, I have PCOS, so I do have kind of breakout prone skin. I do try to take good care of it. But if you guys want to see what I would recommend if you're going to shop the Sephora sale, then if you guys like it here, if you like my vibe, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And without any further ado, let's get into my Sephora recommendations. I am a Rouge member and these are the dates of the Sephora sale so that you know when you're going to shop. If you're a Rouge member, you shop on April 10th, but you can also shop April 10th if you are buying from the Sephora collection. So Sephora collection is 30% off during the sale, and y'all don't sleep on Sephora collection. They actually have really good products. I'm gonna start with a little bit of fragrance first. In this basket is pretty much all of my Sephora recommendations, so we got a lot to get through. I do have 4 perfumes and a body mist that I want to recommend. We're gonna start with the body mist, and that is going to be the Fleur Vanilla Skin. Y'all, as you can see, she is down here because I love her. This is a beautiful warm vanilla scent that you can wear year round. I love using this, especially before bed. I love her down. I did pick up 2 more body mists from Fleur. I picked up the scent Dragon Fruit and Peach Skin. And Dragon Fruit is more on the sweeter side. It's not overly sweet though. If you like a little floral sweet, I would check that out. And then I also picked up Peach Skin, and that one is really good, but this Vanilla Skin is top tier. The next fragrance is something that I don't see a lot of people talking about, but this one, when I wear it, my husband literally goes feral for it. Like, he absolutely loves when I wear this fragrance. This is the Dead Cool Milk Layering Fragrance. As you can see, I've put quite a dent in it. It is very soft, very warm, and sometimes I even like to pair these together, and it smells absolutely amazing. My husband can always tell when I wear this, and I get so many compliments when I put this on. The next fragrance that I've been loving, or that I would recommend, is a little bit more of a date night scent, and this is going to be Black Opium, but the cherry scent. And y'all, this is like something that you wear for date night. It's giving grown, sexy. It has that sweetness of the cherry in it, and I will have the notes of the fragrances listed on the screen because I'm really bad at describing it. This is what you pull out when you just want to give just rich, luxe, sexy, feminine. Like, I think of just like a boss power woman wearing this. I love Black Opium in general, but the cherry one, top tier. Now, if you like a sweeter fragrance, we're gonna go ahead and recommend the Kilian Princess. Now, she is pricey. She is very pricey, but worth the splurge. She's really sweet, soft, and all things girly. So I feel like if you like Burberry Her, you would really like this one from Kilian. And the last fragrance that I want to recommend is going to be this Miu Miu fragrance, and this is the Miu Miu Munette, I think, Minunette or something like that. This one is really gorgeous. My bestie actually put me onto this, and I'm so glad she did because this is like fruity floral. It gives just like boss as well. This one is more of a daytime scent. Now, the Black Opium is given sexy nighttime. This is something that you can wear during the day, and it's great for a signature scent. We're gonna start with a little bit of prep items. For me, these items are going to be more pricey. That's why the Sephora sale is the perfect time to pick up pricier items. And for me, my lips, over the years, I feel like my lips are losing volume. I pretty much try to recommend this product as much as I can, and that is going to be the Dr. Dennis Gross Lip Repair Treatment. Now, they do have smaller sizes for, I think, $28. I think they got rid of the big size just because nobody's probably paying $45 for a lip balm. So they do have it down to $28, and they do have colors now. But if you don't want to get a color, this is so perfect. It plumps your lips up over time. So anytime my lips are looking juicy and they look like, did she get filler? It's this. The next item I want to recommend is very popular, and that is going to be the Lawless Forget the Filler. As you see, I have a theme with the lips. I want plumpness, I want juiciness, I want just all the things. This lip treatment absolutely fills in the lines and it really hydrates the lips. It's a very thick formula. Now these do not tingle, but the Dr. Dennis Gross lip treatment, it absolutely tingles. It doesn't burn, but it is going to give you that plumping effect. So if you don't care for a plumper, then I would try out the Lawless. This is in the shade Strawberry Popsicle, so it is more of a pink shade just to give a little color to the lips, but they have other colors for you to choose from. For primer, y'all, this is gonna be no shock to y'all. It is definitely gonna be the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder. Now this is the Radiant Universal, and I personally use the Universal shade more, and I've put quite a dent in her. I'm not sure if I'm gonna pick up a backup just in case. I think I'll be good until the next sale, but I don't know, summer's coming up and your girl is really oily. This is pretty much the only primer that I've been wearing for like the past 2 years, but if you find that this is just a little bit too drying on your skin, then I would personally recommend the One Size Secure the Blur primer. I love that primer as well. So I feel like between the two, you can't go wrong. For foundation, I do have 3 with me that I would recommend to you guys. We're gonna start with one that is an older launch, and that is going to be the Makeup Forever HD Skin. Now this is a beautiful soft matte foundation. This looks really beautiful on the skin. It photographs really well, and I just love her down. The shade range is amazing. I love that it has a nude cap to go with the foundation, and y'all, Makeup Forever is amazing when it comes to complexion, so don't sleep on this foundation. So if you have her, make sure you're pulling her out because she is a gem. The next foundation that I want to recommend is actually what I'm wearing on my face today, and that is going to be the new Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. So they did reformulate the original Estee Lauder. If you found that the original was just super drying, too heavy, too cakey, they definitely elevated it when it came to the new formula. So it's a lot more lightweight. It's still that buildable coverage. It's not super full glam, but you can build it up to full glam. I am wearing it today, so as you can see, it definitely gives glam. I personally have been enjoying this foundation. But if you're like, no, I want the old Estee Lauder, like extra matte foundation, but maybe not as heavy, then y'all need to get your hands on the Urban Decay Face Bond. Now, this is when you mean business. When you need your makeup to last all day long through the heat, if you're gonna be outside, this is the foundation I would recommend. I did wear this when I went to a concert. I wore this when I had like an outside like barbecue type thing, and the face did not budge. So if you need like an indestructible, foundation that's not gonna leave you oily and greasy, I would highly recommend this foundation from Urban Decay. I do wear the shade 28 Medium Deep just for shade reference. For the Estee Lauder, like I said, I am in 6W1 Sandalwood. And for the Makeup Forever, I wear the shade 4N62. I do have 3 concealers that I want to recommend to you guys. The first concealer that I want to recommend is the new Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Concealer. Now, this is in the shade 11 Tan, and this is more of a natural highlight shade on me. It's not as bright as I would go, but it's not exactly my skin tone either. I am wearing this concealer on the face, so the under eyes are looking nice and blurred. A little bit goes a long way. You do get a little bit of playtime with it, but not too much, so make sure that you blend her out. If your under eyes are a little bit on the drier side, I would recommend the Fenty Beauty Wear Even Concealer. And I wear the shade 410W, so this is really close to my skin tone. I did use this to clean up around the brows, so it's very natural, it's lightweight, it has great coverage. Another hydrating concealer that I would recommend is the Natasha Denona High Glam, and that one is really nice as well. The shade range is really good and a little bit goes a long way. And then if you kind of want something that's soft matte, I would recommend the new Sephora collection concealers. Now this one is in the shade 14Y and it is a beautiful highlight shade on me. Now this one is kind of similar to the Charlotte Tilbury. With this concealer, you definitely want to blend it as soon as you apply it. So just keep that in mind. And this is also going to be 30% off during the sale. So I personally think it's worth trying. I really like the shade range. The coverage is really nice. Those are the concealers that I would recommend. Now, when it comes to cream bronzer, there's really not that many cream bronzers that I own from Sephora. I do feel like I am more of a UK girl when it comes to cream bronzers just because they have more of a range and the formulas are lighter weight. But I want to recommend the LYS cream bronzer sticks. I do have two shades. So I have the shades Strength and Honest. They are so easy to blend. The pigment is there. This shade right here is Strength and this one is Honest, and I can personally use both, but I will say that I use this one more in the summertime and this one in like the fall and winter. This one is pretty much my year-round bronzer, and this is just going to help give me that added sculpt. Because those cream bronzers have had me in a chokehold, there's really not any bronzers that I've been venturing out to. But y'all, I got my hands on the Too Faced cream bronzer, and this did launch last year, and I'm always late to the party, okay? I'm always late to the party when it comes to new products, and I picked up the shade Chocolate Mocha. So it is still that emollient feel like the LYS, and it's so buttery. Like, look at that shade. This is like if both of those LYS cream bronzers had a baby, this is the color it would be. I love that this is very creamy emollient. I love a good stick so that I can just draw it on my face and blend out. A little bit goes a long way with this as well. So this one is newer, but I have been loving her. Now that we're done with the cream products, it's time to get into the powders, and we're going to start with powder bronzer. Sephora has been actually doing really good when it comes to the powder bronzer category, and I have some options here for y'all. So the first one is the Sephora collection bronzer. This is in Coconut Retreat, and this is a beautiful neutral shade. So it's gonna kind of contour and bronze at the same time. It looks so beautiful on the skin. What I love is that this is not super red on me, so I really enjoy that. And like I said, Sephora collection is going to be 30% off, so don't sleep on these Sephora products. The next bronzer is going to be from LYS, and this is in the shade Strength. Now this one is extra pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. She does not get enough love. The shade range on this is beautiful. I feel like anyone can find a bronzer shade when it comes to LYS. I love how inclusive they are. If you guys haven't tried this bronzer, definitely give her a try. The next two bronzers are a little bit on the pricier side, but I have been absolutely loving them, and that is going to be from House Labs. Okay, these are very pricey. These are like $40 each, and I have the shades Acacia Ember or Acai Ember, which is this one. So this is more of a natural bronzer on me. It does show up, it looks really good, but if you're like me and you like a good sculpt, then you would really love Jatoba Sun. So this is what Jatoba Sun looks like. So they are both pretty neutral, I would say. They're not super red or warm. They have different depth levels, but they are more in that neutral category. So I will say when you build Jatoba Sun up, it does give more contour, but this one gives that more natural sun-kissed bronze. And of course with me, I can never choose which one to use, so I mix them both, and y'all, it looks so good on the skin. It just depends on the day for me, but I can use both shades. If you want something that's more on the warm side but still not red, then I would definitely recommend the Rare Beauty bronzer. Okay, this is in the shade Radiant Warmth, and this literally melts into the skin like butter, literal butter. Okay, now this one, This one says it's a soft matte finish, but I feel like it's a little bit more satin. The other bronzers that I mentioned are full matte. But this one does have like a little sheen to it in my opinion, but this is so beautiful the way it looks on the skin. So if you guys have been eyeing the Rare Beauty bronzer, she's definitely worth picking up. Now we're on to my favorite category, which is going to be the blush category. And y'all, I have some bangers here. And honestly, my blush drawer is out of control. But if you're gonna shop the Sephora sale and you're looking for a good blush, then I think the first place you should stop by, Haus Labs. So I do have 3 shades that I would love to recommend to you guys. Starting out with more of a peachy coral color. This is going to be Pomelo Peach. And this is the perfect pinky peach shade that's gonna look good all year round. It's gonna go with every makeup look. So I love this one down. She is newer to me, but she has earned her spot for this recommendation. The next blush is more of a terracotta blush, and that is going to be the shade Fire Moon. As you can see, this is more nude compared to Pomelo Peach. As you can see, this is more brown, but it does have more orange in it. If you're new to blush and you're not sure what color to get, I would highly recommend a terracotta blush to start because it looks the most natural. And I love the formula of these Haus Labs blushes. They are blurring, they're buildable, and they just look really good on the skin. The last Haus Labs blush that I want to recommend is going to be Hibiscus Haze. As you can see, it's more on the pinky side and it gives like that perfect baby doll cheek. Let me show you guys so that y'all can see what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna take a little bit of Hibiscus Haze, that way you guys can just see how this blush transforms on the face. Now currently I do have more of a mauvey nude blush, so I kind of want to make her a little bit more pink. So we're gonna add her on and look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous, and like I said, it wears really well on the skin. And this has personally been my latest blush obsession, is Hibiscus Haze, but any shade from the Haus Lab blushes are worth the coin. Now, if you want kind of a similar effect of the Haus Labs blushes, but you don't want to pay that Haus Lab price, then y'all, that is the perfect time to again check out the Sephora collection blushes. If you were interested in Pomelo Peach, but you don't want to pay Pomelo Peach price, then this shade from Sephora collection in Flirted Up is very similar. And if you want something that's a little bit more on the pinky side, then I would recommend Hey Jealousy from Sephora collection. These are both matte blushes. Now, they do have these blushes with a shimmer formula, so make sure that you are reading the finishes, but these ones are matte blushes, which I personally love. I feel like matte blushes just look the best on the skin. They're blurring, smoothing, and the pigment is there. But I have been in a glowy cheek where I don't necessarily want to add highlighter, but I want a glow, and that's when a baked blush comes into play. And y'all, these from xoxo, I have never tried anything from xoxo before, but this blush in Spellbound is absolutely beautiful. Now, this did come in a holiday kit and I really have been loving her, and it gives a beautiful glow to the skin, and this is very pigmented, so you need a light hand. And those are the blushes that I'm currently obsessed with, that I think that you need to get your hands on. And now we're gonna go ahead and move into face powders. When it comes to setting the face, I love to use a pressed powder. So I have 2 from Makeup Forever and Sephora collection. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Matte Velvet Face Powder. This is in the shade 4N68, and this is what I'm currently wearing on the skin. So as you can see, it's giving blurred, it's giving smooth and airbrushed. So I really love this. If the Makeup Forever price tag is just a little too heavy for you, then the Sephora collection is really good as well. This is their matte powder foundation, and I am in the shade 44N, and I use these interchangeably. The shades are very similar, so like I said, if you don't want to spend the coin on one, you're gonna get the same effect with the Sephora collection. These are full coverage because I am a full coverage girl, so a little bit goes a long way. I would also recommend the one size face powders, but I think that they're reformulating that. So if you can get your hands on the one size ones, then I absolutely recommend that. To brighten the under eyes, a lot of people love the Charlotte Tilbury pressed powders, but for me, it's always gonna be a powder foundation. So of course, I'm gonna be recommending the Sephora Collection powder foundation. This is in the shade 17Y, and I am wearing this on the face as well. I do have it applied just on the inner corner, just for a little bit of brightness. So this is a beautiful, soft yellow shade. When it comes to setting powders, there's really two that are in my rotation. My most used and most repurchased setting powder is gonna be the one size translucent powder, and I'm wearing this on the face as well. I love this. I feel like I've been through at least 5 or 6 of these. I love to use it in my kit as well because it just works on every skin tone and it looks blurred and smooth. The next powder is going to be from Huda Beauty, and this is their new split duos. This is in the shade Pink Pumpkin, and I really like to use this whenever I'm doing a pink under eye. It looks really gorgeous, but they have so many different shades that you can choose from. If you're gonna spend the money on Huda Beauty powders, try the split pans because you get 2 in 1. You can customize which side that you want to use. Why have one when you can have 2? Okay, Huda Beauty is really that girl. And then an honorary mention is going to be from Makeup Forever, and that one is really matte though, so be careful. But if you're super oily and you need a powder that's gonna really get you through, the Makeup Forever is heavy duty, okay? It's time to get into highlighter, and honestly guys, there's not too many highlighters that I would recommend to you, but since we have MAC in Sephora now, I feel like everyone needs to try the MAC Extra Dimension highlighter, and this is in the shade Oh Darling, and this is what I'm wearing on my nose, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It is very blinding, so use a little bit at a time. This highlighter is absolutely gorgeous, and the Anastasia Sun Idol highlighter is really good. For lips, I wanted to keep it real cute. I didn't include a lip liner because I feel like there's so many affordable options at the drugstore, but if you wanted a lip liner recommendation, I would try out the Sephora Collection Molasses. I would try Makeup Forever in Limitless Brown, and then the Makeup by Mario lip liner in Jeff. But the next products are actually what I have on the lips, and the first item is going to be the base color, and that is this YSL Shine lipstick. And this one is really glossy and glowy. This is in the shade number 44, so it's going to give a nice glow and gloss to the lips. Because I'm just extra, y'all, I wanted to amp up the glow, so I did pop on the Fenty Beauty What a Brat gloss, and it took the lip combo to the next level. So I definitely think that this goes great with any lip combo. It is a beautiful lip topper. The next items are going to be kind of boring. To clean my makeup brushes, I love using the Cinema Secrets brush cleaner. As you can see, it is time for me to re-up on her, and I love that it's fast drying. I love that it disinfects your makeup brushes in between washes, because you also want to make sure you are deep cleaning your brushes, but this one is really good at spot cleaning. And then we're getting into the setting sprays. This is officially the last category. For setting sprays, I only have 3 that I would recommend, and to melt your powders together, I would recommend the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush setting spray. This does not really mattify my skin, but it really looks beautiful at melting everything together, and I really love using this in my makeup kit as well. If you're like me and you need your makeup locked and loaded and you don't want it to budge, then these setting sprays are for you, okay? So you have the new Danessa Myricks Liquid Blurring Balm. This is the setting spray that I did use today, and honestly, I love her down. And before we had Miss Danessa, we had the One Size On Till Dawn setting spray, and this is an aerosol can, so it literally feels like you're spraying hairspray on, and it's really gonna lock in your makeup. So I feel like between the two, you can't go wrong with either. and they both are going to keep the skin matte. It's gonna blur the face, and you don't have to worry about your makeup moving with these setting sprays. And those are my Sephora recommendations. Let me know if any of these products made it to your list and if you're eyeing them. Oh, I forgot eyeshadows. Hold on. One moment, please. I literally forgot the eye category because honestly, y'all, when it comes to Sephora, the palettes are very pretty, but they all are just the same. It's very much a soft glam world. In Sephora, there's not really anything colorful, so most of these are neutral shades. I personally am a sucker and a victim of the soft glam look. I feel the prettiest in it. It's easy to do. I do have 3 palettes that I would recommend and then an eyeshadow. On my eyes today, I am wearing the Danessa Myricks Color Fix Stick. This is in Lunar Veil and Solar Flare. So I personally am just wearing Lunar Veil as my eye base, and it came out really, really pretty. And for the actual eyeshadow today, I'm wearing the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. And y'all, I've been sleeping on this. Makeup by Mario has permanently released the Ethereal Eyes palette, and this is a beautiful, beautiful color story. When I first tried this palette, I felt like it wasn't deep enough. It was more just neutral, more cool tone. I really wasn't feeling it, but today I love it. And I did use this dark brown and it did add that depth that I felt was missing. So I'm not really sure if my skills got better or if I just used different brushes when doing my eyeshadow, but this is what's on my eyes. And I did top off the Danessa Myricks shadow with this one. I'm glad that I pulled her back out just to see what she's giving. I see why that this palette is highly loved and why he made this a permanent palette. It is a beautiful, beautiful color story. You get your neutral tones, you get some cool pinky, you get some light nude shades, and then you get a deep brown in it. I'm really happy that more of you guys can get your hands on this palette, and I definitely think she's worth the splurge. The shimmer formula alone is enough for me to buy it. But if you wanted something a little bit more smoky, I say, then I would get my hands on the Huda Beauty Grunge palette. This is more of a cool tone look, but I love that you have different shades. You can do something more purpley, something more pinky. You do have some neutral browns, and of course you got those blacks. You get some silver, some kind of like rose gold shades and plummy shades. So this is really, really gorgeous. This is the perfect date night palette, or if you're going out with the girls. I feel like everyone needs this palette. And the last palette that I want to recommend is from Natasha Denona, and that is going to be I Need a Warm palette. And this one is more neutral to me. It's not super warm. Like when I think of warm, I think of like the Natasha Denona bronze, okay? That is very warm, very orangey, and that's not personally what I love on my eyes, but this, it does have those warmer tones, but it is still a neutral palette. You get some golds, you get some duochromes, you get some champagne golds, and this is probably my most used eyeshadow palette from Sephora. I love the depth in here as well. So you get those lighter nude shades, and then you get a beautiful dark chocolate brown. The shimmers in here are also really gorgeous. For me personally, in a palette, I'm looking for something that has a range of light and dark shades and something that has a mix of matte and shimmers. And those are my Sephora recommendations. Let me know if you guys have these products or if you're picking them up. And I want to do a what's in my cart, so let me know if you guys would like to see that. And I know this video was super long, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.